What is going on, everybody? It is the one and only Esper here, and today we are doing another tier list video. I like doing these videos because they're not super hard for me to make. It's things that I like, things that I'm passionate about, and I can just kind of talk and piss people off with my opinion. So today we are going to be doing the Demon Moons tier list from Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is an amazing series. I've read the manga through it twice now. I've watched the Mugen Train movie like 2-3 times. Seen the season 1 of the anime multiple times. I really enjoy Demon Slayer, and with the Demon Slayer game, Hinokami Chronicles, coming up, or actually I think the game will be out by the time this video goes up. So to commemorate the game, we're going to be ranking the 12 Demon Moons, upper and lower. As usual, like the video. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment down below who your favorite Demon Moon is. Without further ado, we gonna start this off right. We put in all the, I don't even know. These are the people that, like when you see Muzan, it's like, it's the ending of season 1 of the anime, towards the end of it. These are the people Muzan like killed off to like demonstrate he doesn't care about his subordinates or whatever. You guys were the lower 12 moons, and we don't really see anything of them. If we did, then I must have missed it, but they play a super small role. I'm not even about to worry about them. The way that we're gonna rank these demons is based off powers, design, and character backstory. So we're doing all in one for these demons. First, we're gonna do Akaza. We gotta put him SS tier. The fight with Akaza, to me, when Giyu and Tanjiro were fighting him, it was way better than the Muzan fight to me. That last Muzan fight, it wasn't bad, but it was kind of like, it wasn't as hype as the Akaza fight. Not to mention his backstory, super tragic backstory. He was just a product of his environment, and when he did get out of that and found happiness, it was ripped away from him when his wife and father-in-law were poisoned to death and killed. It's just such a savage story. I gotta put him SS because even then when he dies, he ends up blowing himself up. He didn't kill any women either. He had a respect for combat because since fighting spirit, all that together, he just seems like fucking just dope. He's like a badass. So Akaza SS tier for sure. So we're gonna do Daki and Gyutaro, I think his name is. If I'm saying the names wrong for the demons, just mind me. Daki, so I actually really liked her. I like the Entertainment District arc. That's gonna be season 2 of the anime. In the beginning of the arc, I didn't really like her, but as it went on and as her like desperation, I guess you could say, started kicking in when she really was about to get her shit chopped off, I don't know, I just started to like her. She started to feel more personality to me than besides just this evil demon thing killing everybody. So I'm probably gonna put Daki A tier. Only reason because other than that, there's not really much to her. Her backstory was she was just this super pretty girl, and her and her brother struggled and everything like that. But her herself, she was just she was good. She was good. I wouldn't put her S tier, but good nonetheless. Now the real thing I like is Gyutaro, her older brother. They share the same demon mark. I think they're like, what, 6? Yeah, I think they're like upper 6 or something like that, or 5. I forget their numbers for some of them, but this is where it gets interesting. He was a person who was born ugly, and everybody was like, you're ugly, and they mistreated him for it. But they grew up poor. He was always protecting his sister. His sister was I forgot the word that they use in the arc, or the word for it, but you know, she was like this pretty girl who would go off with men and stuff like that, which they would use to support them. He started acting as like a bodyguard and doing like little bounty hunting jobs because he got skilled with the little scythe or whatever. And his fight with Uzui was really good. He's super strong. I think he's stronger than Daki even. And it took a hot minute for Tanjiro and Uzui to beat him. I think he pretty much damn near beat Uzui if Nezuko didn't come and burn out all that poison in him. So really with Gyutaro, with these two, he's the one to me that shines. So I gotta put him S tier. He is really good. I love his design as well. If we're going based solely off design, I'm putting Daki above Gyutaro, but everything else with Gyutaro, I have to put S tier. I'm counting these guys as separate, even though they share the same moon title. So we're gonna do Doma. Doma is a very interesting upper moon, and the reason being is that he has zero type of emotion. He is 100% apathetic, and anytime you do see him show emotion, he just fakes it. And he's always been like this, even before he was a demon, which makes him the most interesting, because a lot of these people on here were regular people before they met Muzan, became a demon, or they became a demon out of desperation. But for Doma, I don't think they really got into much of the story about why he became a demon or what exactly made him want to turn into a demon. But even when he was human, it was like he was always a demon. He had these nice sparkly eyes, so his parents thought he was some deity or could talk to the gods or whatever, so they started this cult around him. The only emotion you could say he felt was pity. He felt bad for these people because he believed that they believed in something that wasn't real. They were hanging on to something that was false and were desperate. So you could argue that's the only emotion he felt. Even then, when his mom killed his father because his father was cheating and stuff, he didn't even care. He just felt bad that there was blood all over the room and it smelled like blood. So that's why Doma to me is, I like him, because he really is a demon, like in and out, a true demon, has no emotion, does not care at all. The only time we see him show emotion is after he dies and he meets Shinobu in the afterlife, and he's like, I love you, and he like falls in love with her and asks her to go to hell with him, and then she's like, yeah, right after you. So I like Doma. I'm gonna have to put him SS tier 2, only because he really is like just a straight up demon. And his blood demon art is super interesting. It's like ice. He can make these ice clones of himself. He can do these lotus flowers. It's actually really cool. So Doma SS. Next we have Enmu. I don't know if it's Enmu or Imui. I'm gonna just say Enmu, but if I'm wrong, whatever. I didn't really care for him too much in the Mugen Train arc. I like the Mugen Train art. It's one of my favorites. But as far as he goes, his blood demon art is really cool. And we got a lot of backstory for Rengoku in that arc due to his blood demon art, making people dream and stuff like that. But he himself, there was really just nothing there for me. I think he just was a dude that praised Muzan, got some of his blood, and tried to kill Tanjiro. You know, he feeds off the desperation and pain of others. And again, he's just a regular, just bad guy demon. And it's different than Doma, right? Like, Doma's an actual demon, but what's interesting with him is that even beforehand, he had no emotion and was apathetic even as a human. Enmu, we don't really know what he was like when he was a human. Even as a demon, he just doesn't really, I don't know, he himself as a character doesn't really do much for me. So I'm gonna put him B tier. I'm gonna put him B tier because I think his blood demon art's really cool. Next we have this guy. I forget if he was, what was he, 3, 4? I don't know. He didn't really do much. I don't know what he did. He's not interesting to me. I don't really care for him. Low-key, I put him here. He is not cool at all. I think he's the one with the pots and the vases and all that stuff. So I don't got much to say about him. He didn't really hold my interest. I forgot about him. Next we have Kokushibo. Now I like Kokushibo a lot. He's my favorite of all the moons. I'm putting him double S tier above Akaza and Doma. And the reason being is because, one, he can use a breath style and he's a demon. So the thing with Kokushibo, the original breather of the sun breathing, or the first breath user as they call him, Yoriichi, is his younger twin brother. Now Kokushibo always grew up highly favored, he was talented, whatever, while Yoriichi, because of his birthmark, they kind of shunned him, yada yada yada. Well, they find out Yoriichi's really gifted with a sword, the tables have kind of turned, and Kokushibo ends up not being favored, and he's the one that's like sleeping in the small room and being treated differently and blah blah blah. And kind of because of this, he despises Yoriichi. He hates him. Like, even when he's working with him, he just hates him, does not like him at all. He becomes a demon. He meets Muzan and becomes a demon to gain more power, to gain immorality, all this stuff, blah blah blah. And at the end, when he dies, he is like, I wanted to be like you, Yoriichi. Like, I wanted to be like him. And even then, you could tell he struggles with his honor as a samurai and his honor as a warrior, just all that stuff. So I think he's probably my favorite moon. Yeah, I'm definitely putting him double S tier. I think Akaza has the better backstory, but Kokushibo design-wise looks cool as hell. Blood demon art or power-wise, great. He uses moon breathing, which is a complete opposite of sun breathing. And even his backstory isn't bad. I think his backstory is really good, and it gives us more insight to Yoriichi, which is the original breath style user. So Kokushibo, double S tier. Next we have this guy. I think he is upper moon 3. So with him, I like him because the different forms he splits into are actually really cool. And there's one of them where it's like this, it kind of reminds me of like Kid Buu, but he looks like this like teenage kid, and he has like these like circle, like I don't know what it is behind him. It's like this circular thing behind him. He has the horns. I think that design looks dope as shit. As far as anything else with him though, his backstory, everything like that is not. It's just, I don't know. He was a bad guy. He blamed everybody else for his stuff. There's just, I didn't really pity him too much when he died. His other forms aren't that cool to me. And the blood demon art, it's like a wood style, kind of like the first Hokage in Naruto, which is kind of cool. But other than that, I'm gonna have to put him C tier. Outside of that one form he has that I just mentioned, where he's like a younger version of himself, or however that works, there's nothing else here that interests me about him or that makes me want to look further in him and that type of stuff. So I'm gonna have to put him C tier for that. I think I would probably look more into Enmu before I look into him. Next, we have Gaku. Now, Gaku, we don't really learn much about Gaku until we see him in the last arc. And the reason why I even like the fight with Gaku is because it's Zenitsu fighting him, and he comes up with a whole new thunder breathing form, and we see Zenitsu develop as a character. He's fighting Gaku and he's talking cocky, and he's not asleep. He's 100% conscious, which was a first for Zenitsu. I think the only time he actually fought conscious that we see. But Gaku, his backstory was just, he was jealous. He didn't want Zenitsu to run the thunder breathing with him or be the successor with him, and that's it. It's just jealousy. Like it's like Kokushibo but discount. That's how I feel like the two backstories are. But Kokushibo actually gave Gaku his blood to become a Kizuki. But other than that, Gaku, there's nothing that dope about him. He's using his blood demon art with the thunder breathing, which is cool. With that being said, backstory, everything, I'm still putting Gaku B. There again, it's just jealousy. That's all it was. Nothing there that really connects me with Gaku. I feel like the Gaku fight was just there to develop Zenitsu more, which it really did. But Gaku as a character, no. Next we have Drum Guy. Now Drum Guy was a former Upper Moon, I think, and then Muzan took away his powers because he wasn't like eating enough humans or getting stronger or some weird stuff like that. So I actually like him. His power was cool. His backstory was dope. People were always saying he was a failure or didn't see value in his work. They were telling him to give up. And even with Tanjiro, he wasn't stepping on his papers. Tanjiro said his powers was cool, and you see this sense of peace in him right before he dies. And his design is cool too. He's one of the first demons we see in the series. Or not one of the first, but we see him very early on. And his blood demon art works to where when he hits a certain drum on his body, he can like shift the room, switch rooms and twist the room and just all this crazy stuff. And it was the first time, I think, that we actually saw like a really, really cool blood demon art that could do something as crazy as that. So it was a cool point in the series too, pushing Tanjiro and the rest of the cast to their limits. So I'm gonna put him though. I'm gonna put him A tier. I'm probably gonna put him above Daki, to be honest. Next we have her. I forget her name, but I'm putting her. No, I'll put her C tier. I'm gonna put her C tier. Her blood demon art was the Infinity Castle, and I think she can teleport like rooms, different places, or juggle the room, kind of similar to Drum Guy, but she uses like some kind of guitar thing she plays. But we don't learn much about her at all. There's nothing to her, and I think Yushiro ends up beating her. He ends up sneaking up on her and like hacks into her eye or some weird stuff like that. So I don't know shit about her, but I'm gonna put her C tier. I think her power is cool though. And last but not least, we have Rui. Rui's cool, and it's the moment everybody in the anime talks about, because that's when Tanjiro first uses the Hinokami Kagura is against Rui. And this was the point in the series, I think, where they first encountered an actual Upper Moon. Like Drum Guy was a former one, but this is like an actual one. Again, the party is pushed their limits once again. This time, most of them almost even dying. Rui's backstory was really nice because he turned into a demon, I guess was eating people. His dad went to go kill him. He ended up killing his parents. But what he didn't know was his parents were gonna kill him and then kill themselves. But Rui ended up forgetting all this the further he came along being a demon, and actually had this hole in his heart, I guess you could say, of craving a family. That's why you see him make all the other people spider people and demons, and he calling them mother, father, stuff like that, trying to fill that void. Even with Nezuko, he wants to take Nezuko and make her his sister. And then when he dies, his parents see them and they're like, Rui, you know, we care about you, we love you. And Rui's crying and is like, it's my fault. And his parents like follow him into hell because they said they're gonna follow you everywhere. His blood demon art is cool. The spider threads, that was the creepiest thing I probably seen in Demon Slayer, when he was controlling the other Demon Slayer members or controlling the dead bodies, and he was chopping off the heads. Rui's cool, but the more you go along in the series with Demon Slayer, Rui's like, I don't know, like there's just like these guys like Akaza, Doma, Kokushibo, even Gitaro, like they just do, I think, better stuff than Rui's, and the backstories really start to amp up. So because of that, I'm putting Rui I'll put him A tier. I'll probably am taking Daki over Rui any day. But that is my tier list, guys. Let me know in the comments below who your favorite Upper Moon is. Let me know if you disagree with my tier list. And I might be doing another tier list video soon. I don't know. Like I said, these videos are pretty fun to do, and it gives me a chance to talk about characters I like from certain series and all that stuff. So if you want to see more tier list videos, please leave that in the comments below too. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, follow me on Twitch because we are streaming Final Fantasy 14 currently right now, but we probably will be doing some Demon Slayer gameplay right when that game drops as well. Anyways, you guys keep it locked. Peace.